My name is Facundo Buonanotte and I'm from Argentina. Mi primera impresión fue increíble. Soy un jugador que le gusta tener mucho el balón y que le gusta asociarse con sus compañeros.
Sorry, I'm not excited about this. A loan from Brighton. This is gutting.
Listen, let's cut the noise. 2 days ago, Chelsea moved quickly and brought in a 20-year-old Argentine who doesn't even look built for this league. Thin frame, barely over 65 kilos, the kind of body most pundits say would get bullied in English football. And yet, he's already proved he can take hits, ride tackles, and still produce. His name's Facundo Buonanotte, and if you think this is just another South American prospect for the loan army, you're not watching properly. At Leicester last season, in the middle of a relegation scrap, he delivered 6 goals and 3 assists. That's 9 direct goal contributions in a side that was designed to survive, not thrive.
Then against Spurs on the 28th, here's Grace Buonanotte! It's 3! Palace are falling apart!
19 years old, thrown into matches where every point was life or death, and he still stood out as their most dangerous outlet in the final third. That's not a highlight reel padded against lower league opposition. That's Premier League football in one of the ugliest contexts you can face. And he didn't just cope, he thrived. Think about what that really means. He didn't just land in England and shock everyone overnight. He went through 2 full seasons at Brighton, learning De Zerbi's system, adapting to the tempo, absorbing the league's physicality. Then at Leicester, he took all that growth and turned it into real end product. 6 goals and 3 assists in a survival fight. That's the jump. Others need 3-4 years to even look comfortable. Buonanotte made the league his own before turning 20. That's why Chelsea's move isn't a punt, it's a calculation. Stylistically, Chelsea fans have seen echoes of this before. Think Eden Hazard at his peak.
Goes again. There might be another one here, and there should be another one here. There is!
Not the same role, but the same ability to unbalance defenses without brute force. Hazard never let defenders set themselves, always shifting weight, always releasing at the exact moment. Buonanotte has shades of that. He doesn't bulldoze, he bends. One touch, one pivot, and suddenly what looked like a stable block is fractured. At 20, to already have that natural rhythm, it's frightening. And honestly, it's exactly the kind of profile Chelsea have lacked since Hazard left. The key action is the half turn. You see him receive with his left shoulder open, already scanning, already knowing the next step. In the Premier League, where pressing is suffocating, that's a weapon. At Brighton, De Zerbi used him wide on the right, tucking inside as a playmaker. At Leicester, he dropped deeper in transitions to give his team an escape. In both roles, the half turn opened the pitch. And Chelsea? How many times last season did they dominate possession but fail to break a block? Too many. With Buonanotte, one movement can flip sterile passing into real threat. Of course, the critics love to cherry pick. They'll point to his 75 to 80% pass accuracy and say he's sloppy. They don't understand context. He's not padding numbers with 5-yard balls sideways. He's trying the killer pass. He's attempting the disguised chip. Yes, he'll misplace a few. But when it works, it changes the game. At Leicester, it led directly to goals.
Nicely done. And Dini's up there.
At Brighton, it showed flashes in a possession structure. At Chelsea, with superior teammates, it could explode. And honestly, I'd rather have a player who dares to break lines than another one hiding behind safe numbers. And then there's his mentality. He's not scared. He doesn't play safe because of reputation. He plays to win. You saw it in his dribbles. He's not the quickest, but he's clever. Quick feet, sudden shifts, using his body balance to brush defenders aside. He's fouled constantly, which isn't a weakness, it's a strength. It slows the game down, wins free kicks, creates chaos. In a league where physical dominance usually rules, Buonanotte survives with brains and bravery. And for me, that says more about his ceiling than any gym stat ever could. Now add the Argentina piece, called to the senior squad at just 19. Messi wasn't present in those camps, but that doesn't matter. He walked into a dressing room of world champions, trained under Scaloni's staff, felt the intensity that defines the Albiceleste. He admitted he was nervous at first, trying just to contribute a grain of sand to that team. But it shaped him. He came back talking about passion and humility, the 2 words that Argentines live by. When journalists asked about Messi comparisons, he laughed it off. No one compares to him. He's on another level entirely. That's not fake modesty, that's reality. And that humility is exactly what convinces clubs he'll adapt. This is why the Enzo Fernández link excites fans. Enzo dictates the tempo, keeps things ticking, sprays diagonals, recycles under pressure. Buonanotte is the spark between the lines, spinning into space, taking risks. One organizes, the other destabilizes. Both think football the same way. Both grew up in Argentine academies where intensity is religion. Put them together, and Chelsea finally have a midfield connection that feels natural rather than forced. And in my opinion, this duo could be the heartbeat of the team for years. You can picture it already. Enzo drops into the build-up, plays the first ball through midfield, Buonanotte receives half-turned, slips João into the channel, Estevão cuts inside from the opposite flank. Suddenly Chelsea look coherent, not chaotic. It's South American chemistry built for the Premier League stage. 4 South Americans with that mix of intensity and flair that English football rarely contains in one team. And here's the best part. 2 Argentines and 2 Brazilians, nations that spend decades at each other's throats in international football, now working side by side in Chelsea blue. That rivalry, Messi versus Neymar, Maradona versus Pelé, suddenly disappears when the shirt is the same. And if you're asking me, that's powerful. Because now instead of fighting across the continent, their shared mission is to make Chelsea champions again. South American fire with a single purpose. That's box office. And it's the kind of identity that makes Stamford Bridge feel alive.
And listen, before we dive deeper into how Buonanotte fits alongside Cole Palmer, let me throw this at you. What do you lot think about this move? Smart bit of business or just another swing in the dark? Drop a quick comment down below. I'll be checking. And while you're at it, smash the like, hit subscribe, helps the channel big time. All right, back to it.
Of course, the Cole Palmer question remains. He's the golden boy, left-footed, creative, already adored at the Bridge. Buonanotte's not replacing him. But that's the point. Palmer needs competition. Too many times last season he carried the attack alone. Now there's another left-footer, another player comfortable drifting central or hugging the touchline. Palmer has proven output. Facu brings intensity, versatility, and pressing. They'll cush each other, and Maresca will love it. In some matches, they'll even share the pitch. Palmer higher, Buonanotte deeper, linking moves on the right. It's not rivalry, it's synergy. And honestly, that's the healthy pressure Chelsea have lacked. And don't let his body fool you. Off the ball, Buonanotte is a nuisance. He presses high, he presses smart, he actually wins tackles. At Leicester, he averaged more tackles per game than some defensive midfielders. He doesn't just run around, he times his challenges, wins the ball, and immediately turns defense into attack. Chelsea under Maresca want to suffocate teams high up on the pitch. Buonanotte fits that perfectly. For someone labeled too lightweight, his defensive data is eye-catching. And personally, I think that side of his game is what will surprise people the most in England. Now let's talk business. Alone. Not £65 million like Mudryk, not $100 million like Lukaku, not even another $50 million swing like João Felix. This is smarter. Brighton keep their asset, Chelsea get a live test. If he explodes, they secure a future star. If not, the downside is capped at almost nothing. That's how you operate in a chaotic market. Low risk, massive upside. Compared to those massive gambles of recent windows, Buonanotte is the first deal that actually feels like strategy. And in my opinion, this is the kind of deal that makes sense for a club trying to be sustainable, not just sensational. And there's another angle the spreadsheets don't show, the Xavi Simons question. Big name, big pull, and yes, on pure profile, he sells shirts tomorrow. But in the real world of UEFA squad cost controls and registration rules, that move is heavier than it looks. To register for European competition, you need your total squad spend in line. And UEFA don't treat creative accounting the same way the domestic league might. With Xavi Simons, you're talking high wages, guaranteed minutes, complex rights with his parent club, and likely little flexibility on role. With Buonanotte, Chelsea get the opposite, a lean, low-risk deal that keeps the books clean and the registration path clear with upside if he clicks. And I'll be honest, I rate the pragmatism here. You strengthen the squad, respect UEFA limits, and keep oxygen in the wage bill for the next big swing when it truly matters. For me, it's simple. Xavi Simons would have been a statement. Buonanotte is a solution. One is brand first, the other is football first. Given the calendar, the rules, and the current build under Maresca, Chelsea chose the piece that fits today while still leaving room to maneuver tomorrow. If you're trying to win across a long season and navigate UEFA registrations without drama, that's just good business. Facundo Buonanotte arrived just days ago. On paper, light frame, small profile, but the weight he could bring to Chelsea's season? Massive. And if he delivers like he's shown already, don't be surprised when all those critics pretending to doubt him now suddenly act like they believed from the start. That's football.